Sky Squad, we are back in the building. We are on that late night creep, baby. Well, it's late for some of us, but it's early for some others. We got to talk Kim Zolciak, y'all. Kim Zolciak and Kroy. So I think we didn't figure out what the cause of the divorce is, as if we didn't already know. But quiet as it's kept, it looks as though Kim had been planning this for quite some time. Oh, yes. Our friends over at the Jasmine brand have reported that Kim was secretly planning to divorce Kroy for a long time due to the ongoing money struggles, is what the people are saying. So, according to Radar Online, all right, she had been quietly preparing for this. Now, y'all know they had been married for 11 years. Y'all know Kim liked to do a lot of the gambling. Right now, everybody's posting this clip about how she had spent about $250,000, which is about 250,000 gambling down to the Bahamas, allegedly, right? Well, it ain't alleged because it was basically stated on Tardy for the Party. Now, the source is saying that Kim made the decision some time ago, but never shared her plans with anyone. They said she had not told nobody, not even family. Well, how did they find out? That's what I want to know. Anyway, she didn't tell anyone. Even her friends were kept in the dark. Now, another source is saying that infidelity had nothing to do with the separation. Instead, they confirmed that they confirmed the rumors that Monday was at the root of the Bravo couple's problems. Okay. And we had already known that because, to be quite honest with you, I mean, that whole $1 million thingamajig, I mean, that pretty much told me right now. You know what I'm saying? That told a story for me right then and there. Like, oh, that's why y'all getting divorced, because somebody in the camp was mismanaging them ducats. Okay, somebody was mismanaging them funds. All right. Now what we know is Kroy. Okay, Kroy wants full custody of the children. Oh yes, oh yes. We got some more details from TMZ. Now, they are saying that this divorce is going to be super nasty with a war brewing over their children and broken finances. So, TMZ has obtained Kroy's petition for the divorce, and he wants sole legal and physical custody of their 4 minor children. Now, they're saying that that's an aggressive move, basically cutting his wife or his estranged wife out of the child rearing process. Now, Kim's legal docs revealed that things were not so hot in the marriage either, because she was asking for sole physical custody and visitation for Kroy. Now, TMZ is pointing out that when couples get along and they're divorcing, they typically ask for joint legal and physical custody, but neither one of them seems to want to do that. All right. Now, Kroy is also asking for possession of the home and that Kim be forced to vacate the property. Okay. Now, when we talk about aggressive moves, now that is aggressive. Basically, he's saying this mansion that's been in foreclosure all these many times. Okay. Um, I don't even want you to be able to come in the house. I want you to get out the house. I want the 4 kids that we got. Okay. And Kroy also is saying, based on his divorce petition, that she must maintain all financial documents, including all income records, tax records, expense records, and more. All right. So TMZ is also saying that this is a suggestion that there is a lot of conflict over who's responsible for their financial state of being. Okay. Now, what you also will notice is Kim and Kroy both filed separate petitions for divorce. So Kroy's was stamped on Monday, and Kim stamped her or filed hers over the weekend. So similar to Ralph and Drew, they was racing down to the courthouse. Okay, they was racing down to the courthouse so they could each say that they filed first to end the marriage. This situation is not looking too good. Now, Kroy also threw a little bit of shade on the situation. Okay. So when you look at this, Kroy says in the bio, okay, right here. All right, let me step over to the side. Kroy says, husband, father to 6 perfect munchkins, athlete, my ring meant a thing, which is a nod to Kim's song, The Ring Didn't Mean a Thing. Okay, y'all remember that one? Y'all remember that hit? That one topped the charts a couple of years ago. Ooh. Anyway, and then he says, you can Google me. I think that was one of her songs too that had hit the charts. It was it number one, 101, 1,000, whatever. And then he says, and see, I wasn't tardy for the party. This the shade right here. This is the shade. This right here is the shade of it all. I'm gonna take these kids. I'm gonna take this house. The ring meant the thing. Google me because I wasn't tardy for the party. That's some level. That's some high level of petty shade right there. Okay, high level petty shade. But we also got to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta because the producers are calling Kandi and Todd out. Okay, well, really kind of asking them to talk about the situation that unfortunately happened at the Blaze over last year. Okay, so let's get into it. So, spoiler alert for anybody that don't want to be spoiled. I don't know what you're doing here, but we still gotta talk about the stuff that's going on. Okay. And if you don't want to be spoiled, just hit mute on the video and just follow along with what I'm saying. Okay. Still might spoil it for you because I got the visuals. So, in the upcoming episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, we get a clip that has surfaced of Kandi and Todd and Kandi's, I believe, nephew or little cousin. I cannot remember his name, but I think he was the chef at the Blaze. Anyway, we all know what happened last year. The unfortunate circumstance. Thank God, her cousin was okay. But as they're previewing some of the food items, I guess that are going to be maybe new at Blaze, or they're just previewing some items that may be potentially featured. The producer is like, okay, all right, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? And so Eric, this is the same producer that we saw Candace call into the scene circa early in, like maybe episode 2 or 3, okay, of the Real Housewives of Potomac, wherein he had to come out and talk to her. So this is the same producer. So now we know Eric is producing both of these shows. Okay, at least a producer on the shows or something like that. And shout out to Eric. I mean, a black man getting that work. Okay. Anyway, so he basically says, like, can we talk about the elephant in the room, y'all? Because we tiptoeing, tap dancing, and punani popping around the subject. All right. We got to get into the fact of the matter is this man is wearing a sling in the camera. Okay. So Kandi says, we're not gonna talk about that. And then Todd clarifies and said, we can't talk about it because it's an ongoing legal situation, right? Now, what you will also notice in that scene is the rest of the cast is, if they can't talk about it, everybody else is. And that's when you get that clip of Sheree saying, when you go to OLG, you don't know if you're going to get the biscuits or the books. Okay. So, I didn't realize that was going to happen so soon, that we was going to get into this so soon, but we here. Okay. Now, I understand that this is a legal situation, so I understand there probably has to be a level of tap dancerization or until they figure out how to speak about it. But what I also know about reality TV is if you don't talk about it, the rest of your cast will, because what they can do is they can give their thoughts and opinions about it. And if Sheree got a chance to talk about it, she gonna talk about it, okay? Because she is the resident phone collector. So that is going to be interesting to watch it play out. And Kandi basically does describe it in her confessional what happened in very simplistic terms. You know, there was someone who worked there who came in, they were allegedly inebriated, and then there was the altercation, and the cousin was affected by it, right? Don't want to say the word here on YouTube. I might have already said it, but if I did, I'm trying to be PC. Y'all know what happened, okay? And you done seen the graphics. So there you go. So there we have it. I mean, personally, I think it's reasonable that the producer asked them to talk about it because if the cousin nephew is in the scene and he's got the sling on, I mean, I feel like that's what I think any reality TV producer would do. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I think I would do it if I was a producer or something like that. So it makes sense. I mean, I feel like if you're trying to follow the story, because either A, again, it's made the news, and then B, the other cast members are talking about it, they're going to have to talk about it at a certain point in time. However, I would assume that they could probably only fully do so with the consent of their attorney. So let me know what you guys think in the chatterization down below. It looks like episode 2 is going to be quite interesting. We're getting a produced, I just think it's also novel that we get to see the breaking of the fourth wall with the producer basically asking, like, hey, can we talk about this? And then kind of seeing their responses and seeing them see why they may not be able to talk about it. I think that's fascinating on reality TV these days. I love breaking the fourth wall when it is useful. And I think in this situation, it's kind of useful. It's interesting for me. So let me know what you guys think in the chatterization down below about these two stories, and I will catch you in the next video.